That's it. Wonder.
Okay. And and India have made it to the semi-finals. Who would have thought that we would get to this point after the last game that we witnessed against England? At that point, I know everyone was incredibly enraged, incredibly disappointed with India's batting and India's performance overall. But then the Indian girls completely flipped the script against New Zealand. We all thought that this would be one of the toughest matches that India will have to play. But they've done it. They've made it to the semifinals. Trisha, how are you feeling? Were you satisfied with the performance? Pratika Rawal, Smriti Mandana. Oh, you've already shaken your head. What's going on? You've already shook your head. My grammar is gone.
Yeah. Because I'm happy with the batting performance, not with the bowling performance. I thought with New Zealand with this batting lineup cannot be losing only by 53 runs. They should have lost by, at least 110, 120, 130 runs. I thought we gave a lot of poor deliveries. We bowled a lot of full tosses. As usual, Sneha Rana has been bowling full tosses. Overall, what I do think is, and this is something that Snehashish and I were discussing before, of course, Snehashish went for the press conference, and I am here, that, the problem is with this bowling against the three teams that have defeated us. I'm not 100% sure if the five bowling option works. It has to be a six bowling option, which today was Pratika. But yeah, not 100% sure that with this kind of bowling, we would be defending totals against any of the good teams. And in the semifinals, if you actually look at it, Gargi, I know right now after the win, I might sound very pessimistic, but the truth is in the semis, you're going to meet Australia. There's no way that's changing. Even if you win against Bangladesh, you're going to meet Australia in the semifinals. So the point being, our performance is still at a 45-50%. But one thing good is my prediction has come true. At the end of the pre-show, Boryada was asking Snehafish and my prediction. I had said if Smriti scores 100, India is winning. Smriti scored 100, Pratika added to it, and India, of course, won.
Lots of questions coming in. Yoga and Diet by Sheetal was waiting for us. She said, "We're waiting. I'm waiting." Great, we won and reached the semifinals. Well done, India. Shirish G is saying, "Need a 2017 World Cup semi-final repeat." You mean that India doesn't win the World Cup again? Is that what you want? Is that what you want
Shirish,
to say?
by the way, Gargi, Shirish had brought home food for Snehashish and me.
Wow.
She for Diwali because she knew we were obviously not home. So she got puran poli, she got laddu, she got so many awesome food, and we are still having it because it's yum, home cooked food, and absolutely superb.
I'm always humbled by our viewers and all that they do for us because remember back in England as well, I said in
Yes,
one of the
yes,
shows that I was craving samosas, and then the next day someone brings me samosas, and we all had them. I think we
correct.
also had a lot of other stuff. We had some
Yeah, we had some sweet, no payasam and all that.
kheer.
Yeah,
There's
tea. Sorry.
a lot of kheer that we ate on the winning day, final test match. So that was a sweet treat that we had as a celebration. But going back to this match now, Rajesh Disa, I hope I'm saying that right. But hope the lesson has been learnt with regards to team selection. Kindly drop Hardeen, play Amanjot and Jemmy to bat at 3.
I doubt that will happen. I think this is the team playing the next two matches. Amanjot probably is not. I mean, Harleen has to fare very badly against Bangladesh for uh, the team to drop her. I think.
Okay. Please comment on today's bowling. Why did not Renuka bowl the end overs, the death overs? Trisha?
That only the right persons know. I'm not 100% sure. See, this is what I was saying, Gargi. The thing is, we won the match, and every time, obviously, every time you win the match, people only say good things. But I do think that the bowling was very flat ultimately. A team which has not been able to cross 250 against most other teams. Against Australia, they scored 251 odd. Against South Africa, they scored 232, and South Africa's bowling lineup isn't great either. But against India, they managed 265, and you have not bowled them out. So it's a very, I would say, subpar bowling effort. Had Renuka not got that in swing going, and had we not got Sophie Devine early, this match could well have gone down the wire. Whereas New Zealand should have been the kind of team that New Zealand has, Gargi. The team is in transition, right? So this match should have been easier for us to win. And when you make a match of something which should have been easier, then you really have to wonder because important games coming up in semifinals, nobody is giving you another chance. Thankfully, we had another chance. And the other part, of course, which I just wrote in the office group. Again, I might sound very negative because right now everybody will be on a high with the win. But the truth is, New Zealand has not got to play against, play full matches against two weaker sides, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. Weaker as in top five and bottom half, I'm saying. So that way also we have been incredibly, I would say the rain gods have stared for us. The other thing, because it rained, the pitch became slower, the ground became slower. With dew, it would have been a little more different. So I think that everything considered, since things are going for us, I thought a better performance was needed with the ball. Batting, no complaints with the ball.
Trisha, I have an interesting question to ask you. Now that India has won, do you think Harmanpreet Kaur will come out for the press conference?
No, today Pratika will come, I think.
But
She's
even
waiting for
even
the
if
World Cup. She's waiting for the World Cup in.
not series end, usually we wait for the series end for the captain, but seems like Harmanpreet is
Yeah, when the
waiting for.
campaign ends, she might come out and say,
But I'm quite surprised, in extraordinary circumstances where, of course, today warrants either Smriti Mandana or Pratika Rawal to come out. But in the matches that India has done badly, I would expect
yeah.
Harmanpreet Kaur to come out. I would want Harmanpreet
We
Kaur to
have
come out.
expected that over the years. How many times has she come?
Yeah.
In T20 World
So
Cups also, you and I have spoken about it. Sneha and Bharat were there in Dubai. We used to keep saying, where is Harmanpreet Kaur? Where is Harmanpreet Kaur for the tough pieces? It would actually be incredibly sad if today Harmanpreet Kaur turns up in place of someone like Pratika. I would say
exactly.
more than Smriti-Pratika because Pratika deserves a lot of this. She was worried. I mean, I do think the trolls were getting to her a little, even though, of course, if somebody asks her in the press conference, she'll completely say, oh, you know what, outside noise doesn't matter. But it does, because ultimately all players are human beings. So I think this moment is Pratika's moment. But overall, see, Aman Majumdar came for two tough press conferences. I don't see Harmanpreet taking that, taking that onus on herself, that accountability. And with this innings from Smriti and a failure from Harman with the bat, you kind of know now the baton has passed.
Absolutely. I would want to see Harmanpreet Kaur come out for the press conference soon, but because there are still a lot of questions that need to be answered. Just because India
Yeah,
has won the game against New Zealand does not erase the bad performances that India has put in throughout
correct,
this World. So
correct,
you also have to be very realistic about where women's cricket is headed, because now it's
exactly.
come to a point where you're actually questioning what is going on in the sport. And if this is the quality of the team, then what happens to Indian women's cricket in the next 5 years? So we need answers
Exactly,
to
and
that.
because after
Yeah,
this World Cup, there will be a sort of transition phase, of course, because with Harmanpreet, I'm guessing will be gone. If Harmanpreet,
oh, I think we've lost Trisha there for a little bit. Till then, let's talk a little bit, you and I. Everyone who's watching, you can send in some of your comments. You can send in some of your questions, and I will take them. Okay, I'm going to scroll to the top a little bit and start taking them. Um, told you, Dipesh Vyas is saying, told you, Trisha, India is going to make a comeback. Two great next game and history will be made. Deepesh, do you really, realistically, be very pragmatic, be very realistic? Do you think India can beat Australia? I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. Trisha is back. Deepesh
Yeah,
is
hi,
saying that
sorry.
history will be made, and the
People
next two
started
games are
calling.
going to be great. Oh,
Just give, just give me a minute. Yeah,
sure,
sorry.
that's all right. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
continue. Okay, yes. So Dipesh is
Yeah.
saying two games will be great. The next two games will be great, and that India will make history. But I don't think there's any realistic chance of India beating Australia.
The problem is, I'm repeating again, the moment you win does not mean things get solved. And I'm sorry, if you did not win against this New Zealand squad, then there was a problem. This New Zealand squad is undergoing a transition. So it's not like you have beaten a brilliant side. The three brilliant sides in the team in the group you have lost to also. So we'll reach semifinals and talk. And if you talk about beating Bangladesh, then Dipesh, if you are celebrating beating Bangladesh, then you have to next start celebrating beating Nepal as well. So let's not do that. That would be a disservice to the game. Okay, I think people have got super excited.
Everyone's calling you a what?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like
Okay, Tamogna Basu is saying evident that Harman is ahead of Richa in the pecking order as a power hitter. Then she should have walked in at 3 and not at 4 since she needs few balls to get going, unlike Richa who can hit from ball 1. Tamogna, I'm still trying to make sense of what really went on when it comes to making that decision of who will walk out after. Was it Smriti Mandana who got out first, or was it Pratika? After the wicket, the first wicket fell, so
yeah,
it does
Smriti
not.
got out. Yes,
He got out right first, and then Pratika in the 43rd over, right?
correct,
So
correct. And it was a
so
shocker. It was a shocker to see Harmanpreet Kaur walking out.
exactly. We all thought it would be Richa. We all thought, okay, now's the time to get in the hard hitters because you already had that foundation built. You had the chance of, uh, you know, changing the gears. You did not have to worry about building that or scoring those first few 100, 200 runs. That was already done by Smriti and Pratika. The job was half done. All you needed was extra aggression, and you could have won by a bigger margin today. That's all. But still
In fact,
thinking about
I
what.
thought, look, I understand that Jemima played superbly, and I have no doubts. We have always spoken about how Jemmy could be the number three. सर ऑटो लेके मेरे कैमरे पे ही चढ़ जाओगे हाँ anyway sorry so as I was saying yeah the auto was literally on the tripod stand so yeah, getting back to the point, I think Jemmy coming at three was not the problem, but Jemmy coming at three today was pretty surprising. It was, more than 30 overs done. Give Richa that time to take at least 5, 6 balls, and then this score, which you have taken to 340, would have actually gone on to 370, 80, which would have been better for the Indian team also mentally because the fans can say anything, you and I can say anything, but the Indian team themselves know that New Zealand is not like a at par team that they have beaten. It's a subpar team that they have beaten. And a
Okay,
lot of
let's
people
do.
are kind of hooting because they think that I'm being negative. But
Okay, final comment, and then we can close the show. Uh,
yeah,
Trisha, your thoughts. Final comment on what you think. Uh, what do you think Indian team's campaign will be like going forward? Do you think there is still a chance of making it to the final?
very slim. Look, on a day, maybe, but see, the thing is, also one bad day, one wicket needs to come. Yes, absolutely. Gargi, we have seen that it's not like Australia has won all the matches convincingly. but
But they
with
won.
them, but with them, the problem is someone or the other puts their hand up. Indian team today has two centurions. Otherwise, in the entire campaign, we don't have a centurion. England has one centurion. So, other teams have one each or two each centurions. Look at Australia. Ashley Gardner herself has two centuries. Beth Mooney has a century. Aliza Healy has two centuries. And 98 not out, Annabelle Sutherland. The other day, Phoebe Litchfield was 80 odd. So, in short, what I'm trying to tell you is everybody in the Australian team has put their hands up whenever needed. So to beat them, it's a very difficult task because they have batting till number 10. They have bowling for, they have 7 to 8 bowlers. So one bowler might have a bad day. Two bowlers might have a bad day. How many bowlers will actually have a bad day? And in the D.Y. Patil Stadium, all the bowlers will go for runs. The pitch literally has nothing. And if all the bowlers are going for runs, we have 5 bowler option. It's going to be very difficult to beat Australia. In fact, I won't be surprised if if India gets a slower track against Bangladesh and India struggles. So the
Absolutely.
campaign is harder. It's still hard.
Yeah.
You might win the this one, you have won, and the next one also you will win. And suddenly it looks like, oh, you know what? We have won 4 matches out of 7. Everything is great. But the 3 matches that we have lost are all 3 semifinalists, and before you, they became the semifinals.
Well, on that note, we'll take your leave. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. It's quite late, almost midnight, and
Yeah.
Trisha needs to get back to her hotel room. I'm sure they have a flight to catch again.
No, everything is in Navi Mumbai now.
Thank God.
Next flight is on the third.
I'm glad for you guys.
Next
All right.
flight is on the third. Yeah.
All right. We'll take your leave. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We'll be back very soon.